All right, so you guys have just started your opinion pieces on the best theme park ever. And I'm going to show you how to use a graphic organizer to make this process a little bit easier. Now, you'll notice on Schoology, this is not the only graphic organizer that you're given. You have several options, but each one of the graphic organizers that you'll find have the same components as this one. So I'm going to introduce you to Mr. ORO. He is going to help you figure out how to format your opinion piece, and he is a great planning tool to make sure that you have everything that you need before you start writing. So the first thing that you need to do in your opinion piece is decide what's your opinion. And we know that we're talking about the best theme park. So right here, I wrote SeaWorld because that's my choice. Now, if I were to transfer this opinion into a topic sentence, it would look something like this. I believe that SeaWorld is the best theme park in existence. So that's what I'm going to start my piece with. What is my opinion? My readers need to know that before I tell them anything else. But I can't just tell them that SeaWorld is the best without backing it up, right? I have to prove it. So the middle part of Mr. ORO is going to be your reasons. You're going to need to choose 3 reasons why you think your theme park is the best. I have chosen that SeaWorld has cool rides, that it has good shows, and that it has restaurants. But I can't even stop there. If you look, you'll see that over here on Mr. ORO's right side, you have your evidence. So these are going to be the main ideas of each of my middle paragraphs. You could even say that this would be paragraph 1, or this would be paragraph 2, because this would be your introductory paragraph. So this would be paragraph 1. That's going to be paragraph 2 of my piece. This is going to be 3, and this is going to be 4. For each reason, you're going to need 3 pieces of evidence. So if you're using Mr. ORO as your graphic organizer, when you draw him in your notebook, you're going to need to add a piece of evidence on each of these reasons, because you need 3 pieces of evidence for each reason over here. So my evidence is not going to come from my brain. It's going to come from facts that I have found in an article. Your evidence is going to come from your website that you've been looking at. But here's my article about SeaWorld. So as I read through this article, I picked out specific sentences that back me up in what I'm saying. So let's remind ourselves, my first reason is that SeaWorld has cool rides. So my job as I looked through this article was to see what tells me in this article that there are cool rides at SeaWorld. I know this is a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. But you can see over here that I have labeled my facts by reasons. So the first piece of evidence that backs up the fact that SeaWorld has cool rides says, this manta-inspired ride takes guests through a manta-filled room before getting on a roller coaster. It then takes them on a roller coaster ride above the park going over 50 miles per hour. It has drops, turns, and even loops above a lake. Okay, so that's going to be my piece of evidence 1. And I'm not going to write that whole thing on my graphic organizer. I'm just going to put Manta because that's the name of the ride. But whenever I go back and write my piece, I'm going to want to explain, because no one is going to know what I'm talking about if I just say Manta. But that's going to remind me when I go back into my graphic organizer what I'm meaning to say. Then I found another piece of evidence for the cool rides reason that says, an incredible vehicle takes you and your family to an icy world of penguins. The ride allows guests to get up close and personal with the penguins and even follows one particular penguin's story. So for my piece of evidence 2, I'm going to put penguin ride. Now remember, you're going to need 3 pieces of evidence for each reason, but because of time, I'm only going to do 2. Then I go on to reason 2, which is shows. I needed to find specific facts from my article that told me about the shows at SeaWorld. If you look down here, it says the most famous show is their Shamu show, which is now called One Ocean. This show allows guests to get up close to killer whales and get splashed while enjoying the show. This show is located in the Shamu Stadium, and it has a section called the Splash Zone. If you would like the killer whale to splash you with a giant wave of water, this is the section for you. So this is underlined in my article so that I know where to come back to. But on my graphic organizer, I'm going to say One Ocean for my first piece of evidence. Then I'm going to go back to my article and find another piece of evidence. This section says the Blue Horizons is located in the Dolphin Stadium, and it is more of a theatrical show with dolphins, exotic birds, and acrobats. There are also many opportunities for you to get up close and personal with the animals of SeaWorld. So on my graphic organizer, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put Blue Horizons for evidence 2. So I'm going to stop right there because I think you guys get the picture. But for your graphic organizer, you need to have 3 reasons with 3 pieces of evidence each. And those are going to make up the middle paragraphs of your writing piece. Then at the bottom, you'll see that I said SeaWorld again at the bottom because for the last paragraph, paragraph 5 of your writing piece, you're going to have to restate your opinion for your audience so that they know what you're trying to prove, so that they can remember what your opinion is. So you've got opinion, reasons with evidence, and then you restated your opinion at the bottom. Now it's your turn to choose a graphic organizer and go back to your research from the website and fill out the graphic organizer so that you are ready to start planning.